Parshat Metzora deals with a person who got tzaras, leprosy. He's one of many people who are described in the Torah as becoming tamei, spiritually impure. But while the other people who are tamei have a halacha that prevents them from entering special places like the Beis HaMikdash, the Metzora, only him, he has a halacha that he has to be outside of the whole encampment of where the Jewish people are. He has to go to Badad Yeshev, the Torah says. He has to be alone. And when the Kohen comes to see if he was healed from his tzaras, so he has to go out of the machane to go to where the Metzora is. Why is a tzaras specifically treated with such severity? Chazal tell us, tzaras comes for saying lashon hara. Tzaras comes for saying things that cause divisiveness, to divide between one person and another. And that's very severe. And therefore, we have a principle of midah keneged midah. A person gets punished with the same kind of punishment that conforms to what he did wrong. And he tried to separate between people, and that's why he gets separated and he has to be sent out of the machaneh. That's the special severity that a Metzora has. The truth is that in Torah we have a principle that we can learn about the good things from the bad things and about the bad things from the good things. When you see the same coin has two sides to it, so seeing one side of the coin on the negative gives you an implication of the same coin on the positive side on the other side. If we see the special severity of a Metzora who came to divide between people, we can derive from here how much of a unique value there is in the Torah value system to creating connection between people, to make people closer together. This is like the ultimate of what the Torah has to offer. Rav Moshe Rosenstein was a big Baal Musar from 2 generations ago. He learned in yeshiva called Kelm. Kelm, you probably know, was founded by the Saba Mikelm. He was one of the foremost disciples of Rabbi Sol Salanter. He had very special educational policies. And one of them we're going to find out about right now. Young Moshe Rosenstein came to Kelm. He wanted to learn there, and he was a total of 16 years old. And he came with his 2 valises towards the yeshiva building, not knowing anybody there. And as he's approaching the building, the door opens, someone comes out, sees him, says, "Oh my gosh, comes over, Shalom Aleichem. What a pleasure to see you. It's so beautiful that you came. I see your valises are in your hand, it's cold outside. Come inside, I'll make you a cup of tea, you'll warm up a little bit and you'll be able to rest." And young Moshe was thinking, it's so obvious I know this guy from the way we're interacting, but I can't place, where do I know this guy from? It's not a familiar face. And then as he's sitting and sipping the tea, the door opens and another fellow comes out, looks at him, comes over and says, "Shalom Aleichem, what a pleasure to see you. I see your valises are still here. My gosh, you must have just come. Do you have where to sleep tonight? Can I help you arrange your room?" And he realized he knows this guy also because of the way that they're interacting, but he couldn't place, where do I know this guy from? And then he realized he really didn't know either one of them. This was the first meeting. But this was the educational approach that Kelm taught, that when you see someone, it's a Shalom Aleichem, like not like let's define our terms and let's see who you are and where I am and how. No, you're my brother. I'm your best friend. Here I am for you. That's how in that beautiful yeshiva called Kelm they taught to approach people. Rav Wolbe, the author of Alei Shur, writes that one time he was by a wedding, and an elderly man of perhaps 90 years old approached him and said, "Shalom Aleichem, Aleichem Shalom." And the man asked, "What's your name?" So he said, "Shlomo Wolbe." So the elderly man repeated the name with a special cherishing, and then he said, "I remember a time, a period in Am Yisrael, whenever you met a person, a new Jew that you hadn't met before, you would give a special praise to Hashem that you have another person whom to love." Oh my gosh, isn't that beautiful? Isn't that gorgeous? That's the way that person gave a Shalom Aleichem to someone he didn't know at all. You know, if there's one thing we can learn from Metzora, from the severity of his punishment, we can definitely see from the other side of the coin how dear and cherished it is in the value system of the Torah. When you have an opportunity, just be nice to people. And if we can push a little bit higher, I just want to tell you this. Rabbi Levine, the tzaddik of Yerushalayim, he was Rav Elyashiv's father-in-law. He was known to be a very nice man. And there are two books written on him by Simcha Raz. At the end of the second book, there's a 2-line paragraph which I thought was fabulous. He said, whenever I approached people, asking them, could you tell me about your interaction with Rabbi Levine? They would always say the same. They would say, it's good you approached me, because it so happens that I was just like his only son. That's what people said. Let's learn from the Torah on how important it is to just be there for everybody, to be a brother, to be a best friend, to be someone who can give everyone that feeling that you're like my only son.